All right, so we're gonna look at 5.2. 5.2 actually could have very easily been in the last chapter. We are if we are dividing monomials. So in other words, if we have something like this, let's go back to if we had this problem, we were multiplying them. What did we powers when we multiplied? We added them. So division is the opposite of multiplication. So what do you think you do with your powers when you divide? Subtract. And the reason that is, I'm going to show you one time with the long one. We cancel off, same thing, top and bottom. What are we left with? X to the 4, which, like you said, we get by subtracting. So if we had a division problem with a coefficient and a variable, the first thing you look at is your coefficient. We actually do divide those. What is 8 divided by 2? 4. And then we subtract our powers, so we x to the third. Let's do one where we have multiple variables. Okay, so you line everything up. You go straight in line with what you do there. So what is 12 divided by 2? 6. We have x to the third over x to the 8th. So we subtract them and get 5, but where are we going to put that x to the 5th? Can you tell me? Where do we have more x's? We have more x's in the denominator, so our answer is going to stay in the denominator. Okay, so now with y's, we have more y's on top, so we know it's going to go on the top. Y to the third, more z's on top, so it's going to stay on top. Z to the third as well. So that would be our simplified answers. Not perfectly small, but it's smaller than it was. Okay, so let's do one or two more of those. Actually, let's do, make sure we've got that. So if we have this one, if we subtracted, we could get, we do it two ways. We could just say it's x negative 5, but we don't want negative exponents. So to me, the simpler way is your answer is always going to go in the bigger part, where the bigger part is. The bigger part is in the denominator, so our answer is going to go in the denominator. What then would we put up top? 1. Nothing was left up there except for a 1. Because if we wrote it out, let's do one of those again the long way. So x divided by x left us with 1. That's why we have a 1 up there and not, say, a 0 or not an x. So last thing, let's look at. Actually, that's all I want. So again, you are subtracting if you've got exponents. Do it piece by piece, coefficient, going from there. So what I want us to work on, actual problem, not before. Page 192. We're going to do 11 through 45 odd. 11 through 45 odd. Let's do one of the last ones to show you what they want. So it says find the missing factor. What if we wrote this out a different way? Let's say we had this, but instead of this question mark, we put an x. How could we find out what x equals? We could divide by 3. So it's the same way here. We could divide by what is there. Now we have the same sort of problem. It's just looking a little bit different. 12 divided by 3 is 4. W squared over W squared. So 2 minus 2 leaves us with 0. That's one I haven't talked about yet. 0 to any power, or anything to the 0 power equals 1. So like x to the 0, 2 to the 0. So this would be 4 times 1 equals 4. Let's show you why anything to the 0. Let's say we have 2 squared over 2 squared. We just said that would be 2 to the 0 power. But what's 2 squared? 4 over 4. What does 4 over 4 equal? 1. So these two are equal. We could do that with 3. We could do that with 10. We could do that with 100. So anything to the 0 power equals 1. All right. So assignment today, 192 is 11 to 45 all. Does it matter?